I'm just going to mute this and we're going to look at some of the chats here because this is the problem with this, guys, is that there's an underlying mentality with people who call auditors frauditors, and that underlying mentality, I don't know, wittingly or unwittingly, actually undermines their own freedom. When you want a man to go to jail for 180 days or even 18 days or 18 minutes for what Chille supposedly did, you got a serious problem. See, it's I always say it's not the tyrants that are the major issue. It's the people who support the tyrants and support the tyranny and applaud the chains of their own oppression. That's the problem. So you have people in the chat room of the Nevada judges. I don't know if you were looking at some of that. I blew up the screen, so some of it was obscured. But I was looking at the chat room, and people are absolutely moaning that a man is free and is not in jail for having committed no crime, for having left no victim, for having damaged no property, for stealing no property, for just calling a cop a doggy. They want a man in jail. The spirit of America is, and the underpinning of America, the fulcrum from which the entire American experience is supposed to balance, is free speech. Now, I understand wanting to carve out for yourself a safer working environment on the behalf of the police officers, but you can't just make laws on the fly. I want you 21 feet back. It's like, well, wait a second. What about the audio portion of my video? This is a public interest story, and you're going to have to get over your fear because we want to hear what you say to that driver. We want to hear if you're going to be verbally abusive. If you tell me to go 21 feet back, you're actually committing a crime, because I have the right to freedom of press. I have the right to turn a camera on you and not just record you visually, but also to record you in an audio manner so that we can all hear what you have to say. You're always saying, all these police departments are out there always saying, no, we want transparency. We want to be held accountable by the public. We want to bridge the gap between the thin blue line and the public that we serve. It's utter nonsense, because when you turn the camera on, you find out what their true colors really are. You find out if they're truly there to uphold constitutional American principles. And they're not. So this judge made a good decision, obviously. She also admitted that the cop lied on the stand. She didn't put it in those words, but the cop lied on the stand. And the problem with the original defense attorney, I'm not going to mention his name. It's not really relevant, but the original defense attorney should have called that cop on the lie, played back the tape and said, you said he didn't back up. 3 times you said he didn't back up. The video camera shows that he backed up. Now, Judge Zimmerman, why should we believe Officer Bork at all? Why would we believe one more word that comes out of his mouth if he's going to lie to this court for video evidence that we clearly have in front of us? He did back up. So the judge made the right decision, and now I hope this sets up a lawsuit, personal, I don't know if you can do a 42-1983 against a judge, but I think she should lose her judicial immunity. I think that cop should be called into question for lying on the stand, and there should be a major lawsuit all the way around, and he should win it handily. I think Orem did a great job, and the prosecutor, what a pitiful piece of garbage. What a pitiful individual. The original prosecutor didn't even want to do anything. He wanted to just remand the sentence for Chille and not have him see any jail time. Zimmerman got her feelings hurt because of the way Chille was talking to the courtroom marshals, and basically threw the book at him. 180 days. Give me a frickin' break. So yeah, let me see what you guys are saying here. New comments. Yeah, Chille DeCastro is now free. He should have never gone to prison in the first place. And it really, really bothers me that anybody would want an American in prison for having done nothing wrong, for having committed no crime. Didn't even break an ordinance like in Houston v. Hill. There was actually an ordinance. It says the case was about Houston ordinance, which made it illegal to interrupt a police officer who is performing his or her duty. Houston Hill won that case. There wasn't even an ordinance in Nevada for Bork to be commanding Chille like he was doing. There was an ordinance in Houston, and Hill beat it because they found it to be unconstitutional, and they called him a citizen provocateur. That almost sounds like what these anti-auditor channels are calling First Amendment auditors frauditors, a citizen provocateur. Now people are calling Michelle Levitt dishonorable. Michelle Levitt. The prosecutor lost this argument, period. People are like, oh, now that Chille's out, we're going to have a whole bunch of auditors doing a whole bunch of stupid stuff. So let's see. I mean, it was just for Levin to free Chille, but it was absolutely unjust what Chille's been going through for the past 4.5 months.